instructed me to set the table with her fine china, as they are expecting company tonight. And I'm afraid that in doing so, I broke a dish here. And I'm a little bit scared to tell her because I know she'll be displeased. This china is very expensive. In fact, only wealthy families such as the Edwards tend to have this porcelain that comes from France. I know that when I confess that I've broken this, she'll make me pay for this plate out of my wages, and I'm not looking forward to that. So perhaps I will wait and tell her tomorrow after the dinner party in the hopes that it's a success and she's in a good mood tomorrow. Mrs. Edwards keeps her china and her silver in the buffet, and she keeps the keys on her waist in a device called a chatelaine. She keeps the keys to the household, and so she unlocked it for me this morning so I may set the table. But Mrs. Edwards is the one who keeps control over the resources of the household. She also locks away the sugar and the blackberry cordial in the pantry and only unlocks them in the tea and dispenses them to Bridget as needed. As servants, we're sadly not trusted to manage the resources of the household. There are fears that we will be wasteful with it, or even perhaps that we might steal it. In fact, Mrs. Edwards periodically will come in and count the silver to make sure that it's all accounted for. For my part, I can say that I would never steal, not only because that would not hold with my religion and the way I was brought up, but also on a practical level because doing so would leave me dismissed with no character reference, and then it should be impossible for me to find a situation elsewhere, and it certainly wouldn't be worth it. Besides, I'm not sure what to do with all these silver implements. Back in Ireland, I ate brown bread on a wooden table with a wooden spoon and a stew with a wooden spoon, and here Mrs. Edwards has all sorts of utensils that I've never seen before in my life. I couldn't tell you what half of them do or why she needs them. She insists that proper families must set a proper table and practice the best table manners. And Mr. Edwards now is thinking of running for circuit judge, and so he's been doing an extra lot of entertaining. Mrs. Edwards insists that we put our best foot forward for all the visitors here. So I just set the table as my sister directs me to, and trust that the guests, when they come, can figure out what to do and what to use where. But speaking of Mrs. Edwards, I must go in and see if she needs anything in the city.